Hello guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Millie, and if you're my old subscriber, hello. Today's video, I'm going to be talking about the 5 things I hate about Denmark. I already made a video about the 5 things I love about Denmark. So today, let's talk about the 5 things I hate about Denmark. Number 1, I think is the ambivalence of the Danish people. So very difficult to make friends with Danish people. They're very intimate people, they're very close people, they have their close circle of people, of friends they have had for a long time, or from their childhood or from school. So it's not easy to break through this friendship and become part of it. And like, for example, the places you would think you'd be able to make friends, these people, they like very close. Like when they're sitting on the train, they're like, they want their space, you know. It's not like in Uganda where like you talk to everybody talks to everybody, and it's very easy to make friends. Here in Denmark, it's so almost impossible to make friends, and I'm not just the only one saying it. There has been so many articles, and there's actually I found many articles talking about putting Denmark. Actually, I think some articles are putting Denmark on top, number 1, and some are putting Denmark around number 3 of the countries that are so difficult to make friends. Actually, I think some foreigners, they decide even to go back to their countries because of that, because everybody needs friends, especially in the places like here. So very difficult to make friends if you come to Denmark. And number 2, it's very expensive. Denmark is very expensive. We pay very high tax, I think like 38%, I think, also depending on which town you live. So the taxes are very high, but one can say we can see what we get for the money we pay. There's free education, the health care system is like really good. Our roads are really good, everything is functioning. We have water, we have electricity all the time, not like in Uganda. Electricity goes on and off. You never know when you have electricity. So the taxes are so high, but we know what we are paying for. But things, you can know, like you're coming like a tourist, things just like a beer is very expensive. I think for the beer I buy here, I could buy maybe like 3-4 beers in Uganda. So I think it's very expensive, especially if you're coming like a tourist. Number 3, the weather. The Danish weather, if you come from a warm country, it's going to be a big challenge here in Denmark. We have really long winters, where at some point, like, we have very short days. Like we could have maybe like like 4 hours. 4 hours of light. That can really cause depression. I think a lot of people here in Denmark, they get depressed because of the weather. I hadn't thought of that a lot, because I have learned how to get through it. I think maybe also I'm that kind of person who don't get depressed very easily. Like try to find ways to look positive on things. But I've also had some African girls actually say like they're really affected by the winter. I think especially if you're not working and you stay home, you don't go out to meet other people, you're home alone, that can really cause some depression. The only way, like, I think some people maybe also have some mental problems, and it's so easy to become depressed during the winter. But I think I try to like light candles, you go out for walks and see how it can look beautiful outside also when it's during the winter time. So I think that's why a lot of Danish people also like travel to warm countries, so they are guaranteed at least 14 days of no rain and no wind. Because sometimes here in Denmark, when it is summertime, the sun could be shining, then it will be so windy, and then it feels like cold, and it's so windy you cannot go to the beach, so it feels like you don't even have a summer at all. So I also like travel, I think every summer, go to some warm country, so I know I can be at the beach like for 14 days and enjoy the weather without rain and wind and all that. And also you have to find to know which kind of clothes you have to wear when you come from a warmer country. It's important to find the right clothes, but when you live here, you learn which clothes are warm and which clothes are not warm. And number 4 is the language. The Danish language is so difficult to learn because first of all, they have some letters, like I think they're only the Danish people have, like they call you or ooh, and sometimes, like, I have a friend who was ordering a beer. Beer is called ul, and she was ordering a beer, but ul can sound, I think, like I think it's called an owl, that other bird. So she was ordering an ul, no, another fish, a fish. beer and a certain fish, they almost sound the same. So she was ordering this eel, and then she got that fish instead of the beer. So the language is really, really difficult. I cannot tell you how long it took me to learn the language. Even now, after almost 23 years, I learned the language, and I'm a nurse. I took a bachelor in nursing, so I can't speak the language. I can't write the language, but I'm not perfect at writing the language. There is this problem with the ends, like the E and the R, when you put a R or when you put a E. But the problem is, in Denmark, you cannot work anywhere if you don't speak the language, unless you work in this Arabic shop and you come from the Arabic countries and you have an Arabic person who hires you. Even cleaning, everything, you have to be able to speak the language, because everything is written in Danish. So you should be able at least to speak some Danish, even if you're going to be working like a cleaning lady. So Danish is very, very difficult. I have learned it, so can't say I hate it, but for people who are coming like new, you're gonna hate it. Number 5, the lack of inclusiveness. Oh my goodness, in Denmark, like if you look like in a lot of the magazines, like you won't find a lot of black models. Finding makeup for black skin is almost impossible. It's almost like impossible. Even the big places in the city, I think it's a struggle to find like many colors for black people. Big city like Copenhagen, it is still very difficult to find makeup for dark skin people. I was looking for a wig because in the winter the winter is so rough on my hair. So I was looking for a wig where I can put my hair out and then put on a wig. No, in Denmark you're not gonna find a wig for black people, so you're going to try to order everything from England. I have been ordering things from England, but because of Brexit, it's very, very expensive now. My hair products, I have to order from England, and these days they're beginning to come. A few companies, I think one called As I Am, because also white people can use these kind of products, but it's so difficult. There's so lack of inclusiveness, and I think even in so many work areas, you're not gonna find black people in these places. You find a lot of black people, foreigners, working in places like healthcare, because they need us. The healthcare is suffering because they're lacking nurses. So places like that, healthcare, bus drivers, all these kind of jobs, but in like, let me say, like big places. But it's difficult. How can you get there if the language is so difficult? Or for example, if you want to be a lawyer, you have to be like perfect in Danish. So I think it's kind of changing, and I think my boyfriend told me he hires some of his job. He works like hiring people. He said like in Denmark now they're doing this thing. I don't know what it's called, but trying to the companies. I don't know if they're forced to, but they have to have like different, also like different kind of people, color, like more women also in top jobs, things like that. Also like more different kind of people in all kind of jobs, if that makes sense. So, but I hope it gets better. There are some Afro shops where we can get products, but these are Afro shops. It could be nice to be able to go in a shop that I don't have to travel all the way to Copenhagen to buy makeup. So I think that the lack of inclusiveness is a big thing. You can also see like on social media, I see like, for example, on Instagram, I see like Danish girls who have like maybe let's say 6,000 followers, and then they get sponsors and everything, and you see like a black girl who also maybe even have more followers than this person, and they're not getting sponsors. I cannot blame it on Denmark, but I think there's something there. But I think things are gonna change, and we hope for the best. But yeah, those are the 5 things I hate about Denmark. But I do love Denmark, and I'm here, and I wouldn't change it for anything. I have my kids here, I have my life here. I'm happy living here, even if there's some challenges. So thank you guys for watching, and see you in another video. Bye bye.